Hello, hello, hello. Good evening. Come on in, come on in. I want this to be a very much so interactive live tonight. So if you are watching, can you tell me hello? Because I can't see who's watching at the moment. It says I have one view. Hello, hello, hello. I can't see any comments. Y'all like, tag, and share for me as you come in. Let's have a candid conversation tonight. Hey, Dawn. Let us have a candid conversation tonight. What do you wish you knew about life? I want this to be very much so interactive. What do you wish you knew about life? I'm sure we all got tons of things that we can attribute to this conversation tonight. I want y'all to be very interactive with us. I'm going to bring my girl Shanda on. I see that Shanda is on the video. And tonight, we are going to talk about what we wish we knew about life. Let's get this conversation going. Shanda, send me a request. If you're on the live, can you like, tag, and share for me, please? Like, tag, and share for me, please. All right, let's go. Let's kick this thing off. Erica says my future. Whew. Yes, let's have a very candid conversation tonight. There's no right or wrong answers here. Hi, Miss Terry. How are you, my love? How are you? Thank you for sharing, Miss Terry. Hi, Sierra. How you doing, girl? I missed you this year at the conference. All right, I'm going to bring Shanda on. Y'all like, tag, and share for me, please. Hi, Shanda.
Hey,
How are you tonight?
I'm good. Happy Tuesday.
Happy Tuesday to you, girl. Happy Tuesday to you. I want to jump right into this conversation. I don't want to prolong, but before we go into the conversation, can you tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do, and then I will follow suit and we can just pick up the conversation.
Okay. Who am I? That's a tricky question because, a lot of times when we say who we are, we talk about roles, we talk about what we do for a living, we talk about, marital status and things like that. But who I am, oh, that's very, very philosophical. I would say that I'm a very intuitive person. I'm very empathic. I think that I even, in some ways, walk this earth being a warrior. And a lot of that is from just like issues and trauma and just upbringing and all of that. But that's who I would say that I am. Any roles that I have, of course, I'm married. It's going on 11 years. I have a daughter who's 13. I'm the oldest of four children, 43 years old. I work in medical billing as my day job, but I also have a business. I'm a licensed insurance agent. I'm in financial services. So that's some roles. But yeah, the core of me
Yes.
is a caring, kind, empathic, intuitive being, honestly.
That was a lot, but that was prospectively put. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And it seems like now we're friends, but it seems like the more we talk, the more I find out more and more layers about who this girl Shanda is. So, at the core of us, we have the same name with an exception of one letter. You're Lashanda and I'm Rashanda. How coincidental.
Yeah.
We come from the same hometown. We work in the same career industry, as a matter of fact.
Yes.
I actually I actually hold a degree in medical billing and coding, and I
Same.
am a training facilitator for a very large
Same.
health insurance industry. So I talk for a living now. I literally talk for a living. And just to think, I was thinking on that earlier today. I said, my teachers used to give me excessive talking on my report card. But now it's worked in my favor because my excessive talking gets me a paycheck. Glory to God. So I took my horn in that regard. At the core of me, I'm a mother. I'm a wife. I'm a lover of Christ. I don't always get it.
Yes.
I don't always get it right. I don't always aspire that I get it right. But I do love God, and I do intentionally try to do the right thing by people. But my first ministry is at home. I want to love my husband correctly. I want to love my children correctly. Um, and do I have room for improvement? Absolutely. Absolutely. I think we all
Oh, yeah.
do. Um, I have been traumatized in my childhood. I lost my mother at the age of 13. So there's some layers to healing for me that I have probably very intensely been working on self over the last 4 years. I'm a divorcee. So obviously I didn't get it right the first time.
Yeah.
I did contribute to that. Um, and tonight, I want us to like pull the cover back. I want us to expose some areas of vulnerability for allowing us to have a very candid, healthy conversation about the lack thereof of what we didn't know that we wish we knew.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you want to start off by saying on this topic? What what are some of the things that at this place in your life that you wish you knew that you had no prior knowledge to?
A lot of things.
Yes.
I do want to thank Miss Terry Jones for tagging all those people in. Thank you so much, Miss Terry. I would definitely, reiterate what Miss Erica Wright said. She said her future. Man, if we could all have a window to the future, how great would that be? Right? That would be so great to know what's going to happen. And I don't know that even if I had that window into the future, if I would make any changes necessarily, but at least I could prepare myself for the roller coaster ride. So I'll start by saying that maybe one of the things that I would probably would have wanted to know about life is that it's not going to be what you think it is. And I feel like that's so true because I just remember distinctly, okay, so I am the product of a single parent household. My father was never really in my life. He's, semi there now because he and my mom have kind of rekindled after 43 years.
Wow.
But so, I would see my mom date people and things like that. And this is not a conversation about my mom because in case she jumps on, I don't want her to think that I'm over here telling her business.
Right.
But when I would see her dating people and things like that, and I'd be like, oh, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't say that. I'm going to have this. I'm not going to have that. I'm not going to deal with this. I'm not going to deal with that. Like my little 13, 14, 15-year-old self just thought I knew everything. And it's interesting because, in our culture, the older people will tell us when you have a daughter, you're going to understand more. You're going to understand better, right?
Absolutely.
And so I have a 13-year-old daughter. And sometimes when she says stuff, I'm like, girl, 14 years ago, you were not even 14 years ago, 12 years ago, you were in diapers. You don't know more than me. I promise you, I got 30 years on you, ma'am. I got 30 years on you. So what you think you know, you don't really know,
Right.
But I just remember my little self, my 13, 14, 15-year-old self thinking that I knew everything and that I was going to be able to create the life that I saw at that time and not knowing that really the only thing in life that you can control is yourself. And that's even to a certain extent.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I can totally relate to growing up, and this is not about my parents because I don't want that to be misunderstood, but we're just keeping it factual here. My mother actually was married twice, and her first marriage did not work out, which was to my father. And for a short period of time, it was just me and her in my grandmother's house. And then she fell in love again. She got remarried to my stepfather, which is a great man. He's deceased now. And life was hard, but at the age of her transitioning, I was so young, I didn't know what was normal and what wasn't normal.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that I would miss my dad until later. Like everything was just kind of in its place to what I knew to be normal. So early on, I really could not identify with abnormality. I just couldn't. Grandma made sure I had the things that I needed. But as I got older, the conversations to me became more candid. They were more direct. I started seeing things very clear for myself as I got older. And the things that I was being shown and taught were all coming together. They were all coming together,
Listen.
quickly coming together. And so I was in a single parent household for a little bit, but then because my grandmother had a